Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to another Logging from Scratch episode. So, last time we were playing, we had just dropped off this load here to be unloaded, so I figured we'd start things off by getting the load right off the truck. So I'm just going to unlock it. Looks like our sun is kind of going down here. I don't know whether I want to reset time so that it's daytime. I noticed the night videos are kind of sketchy, but maybe we should do it real style, and I love that error. Because this is such a long attachment, like because the claws are so big, what happens is if you lower it too far in maps that have water really close to the surface, like the water is probably like 2 feet down. So because I had to make the node really far down, it thinks that it's going into the water. It's kind of funny. So if you guys ever get that error, that's all that is. You're not actually in the water. It's just trying to be confusing. Okay, moment of truth. We're testing this guy out. I used it in multiplayer a bit, so I definitely know it's pretty good at unloading. I haven't tried it in single player though, so we'll see. I imagine if it works in multiplayer, it'll work in single player. I don't want to take too much here. Oh, there we go. Oh, can this thing even handle that? Oh, just barely. Oh, we got some slippy pieces in there. Look at that. Like a boss, eh? Thing just gives her. Perfect. I saw we had a piece kind of slip out there. Oh, it's just a little short piece. Oops. Jesus. It's so weird. It's so weird using this because I'm so used to the other grapple that it's just bizarre to me. Because it's so, it's got such a long claw on it. It's bizarre to use. Absolutely bizarre. But you don't want to take too much. I want to make like a really big excavator that we can have at the mill. That's just heavy as heck that we can use for that. With just a crazy amount of weight. Not something you really can haul around very easily, but something just perfect for what we're doing right now. Because these little machines are not meant to handle full groups of logs like this. It's just not what they're built for. But for right now, it's what we got, and it's what's working, so that's good. We'll keep it. Kind of grabbed it a little bit off its center point there, but that's okay. The key is if you're moving large amounts of wood like this, the real key to controlling it well, whether it be real life or in this game, I'm sure, is to do it really slow. The small stuff, like when I'm loading like 5-meter logs, like the really small little pieces, you can just whip them around. You can go pretty fast with the machine. It won't hurt nothing. But when you get like these big, huge pieces and you're using a clod this big, then, oops, then it's a little sketchy. You got to move a little slower. Do not drive too deeply into the water. Yes, sir. Alright, what do you guys think this is going to be worth? I bet you this thing is going to be worth probably 70 grand. 80 grand? Let's say 70 grand. Let's say 70. Oh, not even. $56,887. So we still have $378,000 in the bank. So that's an interesting total. Let's see here. Let's get this guy back out to the block and do some loading. I also leased another loader for loading stuff up. Just because when I buy attachments and stuff, it's annoying to have to reset stuff. I'm working on getting a truck. That's my plan. That's my next plan of action, is to get a truck with some kind of a magical crane that can scoop them up and put them on there. That's what I would like to do anyway. So we'll see how that goes. A truck with a crane. And these are some dense forests. I should actually see if my MSI thing is on. I have a feeling it's not again. MSI afterburner. Oh, it totally wasn't. That'll probably help my frame rate. Let that fan get going. It's just because we have such a dense forest. This game's not meant to have forests this dense. The poor little engine can't handle it. Alright. So now, before we drive our truck up there, let's get our loader in a good position. So like you said, we got a blade. I actually ended up buying 2 blades. So I got one on this one, and I got one on the buncher as well. Every once in a while I'm going to hit escape so it saves, because I don't want it doing what it did that last episode where it kind of crashed on us there. Maybe we will, because this one's first, let's load from this side. We'll cross over here. And what this blade also is good for, if you're not using it for plowing, is you can actually lower it and then just push crap around with it. So that works really good for that. If you want to move a deck or a pile. See that? What the heck is a piece of that? I gotta look at that. What is going on here? That is the finest piece of coaster I've ever seen. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so let's go start with this pile, I guess. We're going to turn our light on because it's getting kind of darker. The sun's disappearing behind the mountain. And we'll scoop through here. Do some proper load side logging here. Pictures here, gotta have our pictures. Those are important. There's a eagle or something, bird of some sort, crow or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. It's a bird, you know. All right, so let's get ourselves lined up here. We can actually bring that bunk ahead a little more. Right about there is perfect. Then we got a nice open spot for loading these longs. Oh, I have the wrong attachment selected. There you go. Yeah, okay, so if you guys ever put the blade on here when you do get it, and you're not able to open your grapple, just hit G, because G will control the 2 here. I don't know if you can you drop the blade? Yeah, so if you're switching to using your blade, you have to hit G and then V to drop your blade, V to raise it, G turns it back to this guy again. I know that's kind of maybe a teeny bit annoying, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it in joy to key. So this does Shift Z, V, and I want it to do, oh no, I don't want it to do G. What's the best way to do that? I wonder, how about I set it to, I'll worry about that later. I was trying to think of I always try to think of like all-in-one solutions for operating the machine, so I don't have to play around with them too much. Alright. Nice and gentle here. This is actually a really good loading spot. It's very comfortable. Trying to rip all the lines off the truck there. Now apparently you can make it so the lines on the truck hook up to the trailer. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know if that's something I can just easily do modding, or if there's anything special I have to do. I'm going to look into that, because it'd be kind of cool if you hooked it up and all the lines from the truck just magically hooked up to the trailer. That'd be pretty cool. Of course, knowing our new machines, we're probably not going to have that. And we'll just tuck these right here. How much space we got in the front? Oh, we got lots of room. And we'll grab this ugly one here too. Tuck that over here. And I'm just gonna just kind of slip it in the middle here. Beauty. Okay. Back her up and move along. Now what I might do is I want to kind of shuffle all this wood over to this one little pile so that I can just grab it and throw it on there. So what's the easiest one? Probably the easiest spot would be this one. So let's go up here first. And then you hit GV. Push all this stuff out of the way. It's not actually plowing. It has the plowing effect sometimes, but it's not actually plowing. It's just doing the effect as if it is plowing, but it's not. That plow's handy. I had lots of people recommend doing that a long time ago, but we just could never find a way to do the plow very effectively. And then I was looking at some of the Giants plows, and I realized, oh man, I'm like, the way they have them in this one, it probably wouldn't be too hard to make it as an attachment. Sure enough, here we are. All attached and ready to rock. I do get random crashes in this game. I don't know if it's due to my equipment or if it's due to just the game. But I've tried playing with just the vanilla stuff, and I've gotten weird call stack crashes and stuff. So apparently there's some patches coming out for the game here, so maybe something will fix some of those. I don't know. I just save lots and go, whatever. It's still a better experience than 2017 in my opinion, but let's get this little chip off the road here. And actually, I wonder if we can use this to kind of like push these aside. Oh yeah, perfect. Gotta keep your block clean, right? Beauty. This is my kind of logging where you got yourself a little road. But like the cool part is like, well, I don't know. To me, it's just neat because this used to be just a chunk of forest that looks just like that chunk of forest. But now we've created this cool little block with its own little road, and it's just like it's totally your thing that you built from nothing. I don't know. I find that pretty cool. I'm sure you guys all do that too, but I don't know. I never used to do that. I always used to just play the prefabricated stuff that I built. Now I literally just don't even, like for logging maps, I don't even want to, I don't want to have pre-cut areas. The next map I've already have pre-designated blocks because that's just the way I built it. But the one I build after that is definitely going to be a definite do-it-yourself kind of logging map for sure. Where you have access to one main road, that's it, with a loop, and the rest of it is up to you how you want to build your roads. Just like real life. A lot of areas aren't built out. They have like a main road they follow off to a block, and then they say, okay, go up here, build a road. That's going to be totally how we're doing it. That's kind of what we're doing now. We just kind of made our own, but I want to make it where there's even more space to play. Is that blade up or down? It's up. Good. That's actually my real life experience. I'd always forget to put the blade up while I was working on my stepdad's excavator. I'd push it down to like push a bunch of stuff, and then I'd like see something and be like, oh, I better go back up and do that. And then I like leave the blade down and drag it, and I'm like, whoopsies. Didn't hurt anything, but it hurt the ground. That's about it. Leaving a big nasty spot there. Oops. Oh, what's going on here? Because that's realistic. They're just freaking out doing their own thing, whatever. Perfect. That's where I wanted it to roll. And right into that little spot there. Perfect. Okay, now we should be able to grab this big long stuff here. And on we go. Oops, easy boy. Shorts are definitely easier to load in terms of like not having to worry about, like when this is not a good trailer for doing longs because there's so many stakes to hit on it. Lots of room for error. I definitely prefer a truck that only has a couple stakes on it, but we're working on a couple of those right now, so we'll see. If I'm doing longs, I would want basically just 2 stakes in the middle here, and that's it. I wouldn't want all of these. All these nasty ones here. Just gives you a lot more flexibility to play with the load. Because this one I have to go back and forth and try to fit between the stakes, and I'm sure real life loadermen can attest to that. We have some trucks that come to the mill that have like 3 or 4 bunks even of stakes, and they'll have longs on them, and they'll just be like, yeah, loaderman just absolutely freaking hates this thing. And I'm like, yeah, I could totally totally see why, because that would drive me nuts too trying to load that. There we go. We still got a little bit of room on this one, but I'm thinking this is almost a load. Is anybody keeping count how many loads we got out of this block yet? Because I definitely haven't been keeping count. We just have this one pile on this side, I think, and it's pretty much cleaned up after that. So why don't we take this one to the mill, because that's probably, I mean, there's a little bit of space on there, but that's okay. It's no big deal. It's still a pretty nice looking load. So we'll lock this guy up here. We can just go do the loop here, I guess. So what do we got here? 2 on that side, 3 kind of here-ish. We got a stick laying out there for whatever reason. And yeah, I'd say we got another, what, like 4 loads left in this block? About that? Maybe 4. 4 is probably a realistic number. All these crap piles. We should probably build a chipper. That's going to be a thing too. There's all these things I got to build, and I want to play, and I want to build, and it's just not enough time for it all. It sucks is for the next like 3 weeks, we're switching to night shift at the mill. Well, kind of night shift anyway, but I'm not looking forward to that. So I won't be modding, I won't be recording, I won't be doing anything. So I'm trying to get as many episodes recorded as possible ahead of time so that the next 3 weeks I don't have to worry about trying to fit them in. Because it's gonna be brutal. 3 weeks of, yeah, probably like 4 hours of sleep a day, so that'll be good. I'll be in a super happy mood. Really looking forward to that. But it's all good. We'll get her figured. Can't quit now. Doing it for too long. Alright. This time I think, yeah, we do have time actually. I can unload this. The heck with it. Since we started this episode with unloading, we'll end it with unloading. That sounds good. If we go over a little bit, whatever. That's life. Now this load should be worth like, I don't know, maybe 45,000? Nah, maybe less. It's definitely less pieces. Maybe 35,000. That's what I'm thinking. Now the reason I'm parking it so close to the loader, I don't like how close that is, but it's the only way I think I'll be able to get good control of the grabs, because if it's too far out, they seem to be really slippery. So let's give that a shot and see if bringing it closer makes life easier for us. Because the closer the load is to the cab, the more stability it will have. Oh. There we go. Bloop. Beauty. Nailed it. So yeah, having it close definitely works better for sure. A lot less rickety. And we can do like monster grabs like that without it falling right on its butt. That was a monster grab if I've ever seen one. Whoops. And if you really want, you could probably keep it trapped if you think it's going to slip out by just doing that. Wow, that's a crazy amount of wood there, hey? Take a picture of that. Because that's what I do. Oh, hey, that texture's showing up pretty speckly in that. Looks pretty good. We just recently switched to a non-texture system to a UDIM system, which allows you to just add a normal texture that adds like this kind of peppered texture look, but it requires like way less texture memory, so it runs a lot smoother. We're just kind of playing with that right now. Okay, let's sell it. What do you think? 47,092. That's not so bad. That's actually really good. Don't drive too deeply into the water. Yes, sir. Okay, so we're going to end it on that. When we come back in the next one, I guess we'll just maybe keep loading. Maybe we'll start cutting with the feller buncher and kind of start cleaning up some new road. Could be fun. Anyway, if you guys liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Do not forget to subscribe. And if you're in the bush, don't forget to hug a pole. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.